Hi everyone. I really wanted to make this video to make a few things clear. Like many of you, I also learned that Notability switched now to a subscription model. And well, we will talk about why this happened and what this means to you as a Notability user. But what I really want to address here is the raging going on in the internet, on Reddit and all over the place, that Notability made this insane decision to switch to a subscription model. You might not like what I have to say here, so please bring the discussion down into the comments below, what your thoughts are about the subscription model. But before you do so, let's talk about the facts first. When we go to Reddit, we see Notability switches to a subscription-based model. Current users will be able to continue using the app for 1 year. That's the information going out there. 750 comments. This is just from today. And when we go to other posts, like for Mac Rumors, they already say Notability users frustrated by switch to subscription model, claim violation of App Store guidelines. That's a statement from Notability where they mention something very important here. If you would like access to more premium content or technology like MyScript's handwriting recognition and math conversion, you may choose to subscribe at any point. And this is a really important thing that you need to understand here. I'm running this YouTube channel for 4 years now, talking a lot about handwriting note-taking apps, talked to many of the companies behind the note-taking apps, and MyScripts, if you follow my channel, I talked a lot about MyScript Nebo, the note-taking app. And this is actually the company who provides the handwriting recognition engine. So whenever you use GoodNotes or NoteShelf or Notability's handwriting to text conversion, it will run through MyScript's handwriting recognition algorithm, and they charge for this. They charge a recurring fee that Notability has the license to provide you the handwriting recognition. And this is constant costs for an app to pay. So this is why I understood last year when Notability actually made the handwriting recognition feature an in-app purchase. So this was no longer available included in the one-off payment. You had to separately to unlock this. And this is where they tried to compensate the costs that were increasing. Now they added a lot of new features, and especially the new gallery where you can share information, and also the sharing feature, you have to run servers and all this. Then they have a lot more support. Obviously, the more people using Notability, especially because it's so popular in universities and schools, you have to deliver support there. Now let's just think about this. If you pay one time $8.99, that was the price for the Notability before, one time, and then you use it forever for free, how do you expect a company to deliver over time? To keep bringing out updates and, implementing the features that everybody wants, People pay $8.99 and then they expect that they can reach out and say, I want to have this feature, I want to have this fixed, I want this. This is not working this way. We are a limited source, humans, yeah? So there is a cap where they just run out of money at some point if there is no recurring revenue coming in. Okay, I know, maybe you don't agree with me. Let us know in the comments below. No need to give the video a thumbs down. Just let's discuss this out in the comments below. But let's move on this particular page here, where they also shared some tweets where people were complaining. So Frank here said, hi, just to get this straight. I've purchased Notability for $8.99. I've purchased handwriting recognition. So this was, I think, $2.99. I've purchased stickers and notebooks in-app purchase. Okay. Now in 1 year, you force me into a subscription scheme to use functions I've already purchased. Also Cloud Sync. I just want to point out, and he already mentions this himself, Notability allows us to have time to make the decision if you want to move on with the subscription model. So when you have Notability and you bought all this stuff, you can keep using this stuff from now for 1 year until the 1st November 2022. And then if you want to keep using it, you need to subscribe. Yes. If you get it now and you subscribe, you pay $11.99 per year. Per year. This is less than $1 per month. So what are we talking about here? You're using Notability in your studies as your single source of truth. Everything goes in there all your life. You expect this app will run forever, and if anything breaks down, you reach out to support and you expect support, and all this for $8.99 lifetime access. But if you are asked to pay $1 per month in order to keep this service up and make them grow, you're complaining that this is now insane. I mean, I don't get it. I was a student for a long time. I studied physics, I studied biology, then I went to the PhD, I finished this. I also had no money there. But come on, $1 per month for the tool that you actually use to make your studies, this is no excuse. You have to pay money for, I mean, you bought an iPad, or you got an iPad by your parents, which cost $500 to $1,000. And we are talking about here a $1 per month. And now, you could say, but everything is now subscriptions. And I have so many subscriptions running and I don't have an overview of the subscription. Well, I tell you what, it's not, if, Netflix, watching movies, this is not a productive thing. I'm watching movies. I like watching series, but I'm not complaining about $9.99 per month, or what it is now, $14 to watch these movies. But an application that costs you $1 per month to keep your actual life in there, you're complaining about a $1 per month. I just don't get the relation going on here. And I go in a bit of a rant here, because this free, everything is free attitude is just annoying. I tell you that. Maybe you say, Tom, you're sponsored by Notability to say that and all this. No, I'm not sponsored by Notability. I'm sponsored by my members in my Paperless Movement membership. And guess what? They are paying a monthly or a yearly subscription to be inside the membership. And they allow me, by this recurring income, that I can sustain to provide you the free content to inform you about the latest updates about the handwriting, note-taking apps and other productivity tools to make you more productive. And I just want to put this into your relation. And another thing I just want to bring up, maybe some can relate to this. Photoshop, Adobe, the Adobe suite. We all know them, Photoshop, Illustrator, and so on. This is a subscription model as well. And I remember when they went for a subscription model, everybody was complaining. Everybody was complaining the same way now for Notability. But nobody made the math behind this. Each year, Photoshop was upgraded with new features. Then you paid $2,000 and you received the upgrade, and nobody complained. You had to use this, you got student discounts maybe, and you got this. But still, with a student discount, it was still around 500 euros, or maybe for the whole suite, I'm not sure. But still, this is 500 euros. Now we are paying between $20 and $80 per month for the whole suite of... Now do the math. If I pay only for Photoshop $20 per month, $240 per year. That's 10 less than the upgrade of Photoshop was before by single purchase. Another thing that people don't consider with the subscription model. Companies, they calculated the income with the new release next year. So they were working the whole year to work on these features. They pushed everything out at the one time, which was the new package, but it was the new upgrade that you hate to pay for in order to get access to this. Of course, because if they would incrementally add these upgrades to Photoshop, then there's no point charging you 2,000 euros in the end of the year for a minor upgrade, isn't it? So they were holding back all these upgrades, and then they released it in one thing. And with the subscription model, you allow companies to publish their features every month, on a weekly basis. Even some companies do this because they have a recurring income and they don't have to worry to run a campaign and tell you what great features they now have that you have to buy now the latest upgrade. You are always using the latest version of their product, and I think this is awesome. And it's the same again in the Paperless Movement membership. I can keep going, publishing the videos talking about this, for example, or about latest releases, being inside my community, talking to my members lifetime. There's no closed door thing that you can just, that's the same thing. You might have seen this on other membership sites where you have a closed door mentality. So they give you the pressure, you have to join today, otherwise you will miss out. And then you have 6 months where you can't join the membership, and then we open the doors again. And I think there are reasons why to do this, for example, in cohort courses where you have to go through certain content together. But just to increase the pressure and create scarcity, I think this is the wrong strategy. So this is why my doors are always open, and I can this way be also consistent providing you content. I could now close the doors and say, okay, let's say I will close the doors for 6 months, create new content, new courses and all this. And then I will open up and say, hey, I'm back. I have all this new stuff. You pay me $2,000, you join, and you get access to all of this. Maybe half of it you don't even need. Instead, I'm providing the content ongoing thanks to the feedback of my members. So I think this is a really important point to see it from a business perspective. And also consider the running costs. The businesses have to pay each month, like for my script, the license, the people they're working in. They want to grow over the year in order to provide you more value over time. So if they have to wait for peak times like back to school or Christmas, where people get an iPad and they're looking for a handwriting note-taking app, then they get peak income streams, and then they have to calculate over the whole year. It's a lot more predictable going into a subscription model. So let's just look a bit more here into these tweets. Astonished that Notability app is moving to a subscription model. I happily paid for Mac and iOS versions for Notability separately, all the way back in 2015. Guys, this is 6 years ago. Colin Wally, maybe while he was doing his master's degree, paid $8.99. It's accompanied me through 3 degrees. He made 3 degrees. Now, very disappointed there is no grandfathering in, will be switching. Come on, Colin. Rethink this. You just wrote here that you made 3 degrees using Notability as your go-to handwriting app, that you paid $8.99 and maybe a few more for the Mac version, and you made 3 degrees that increased your income level if it is going the right way. And you are telling us after 6 years, just put this into relation. The company Notability received $8.99 6 years ago from you, and you expect them to keep bringing in updates for lifetime access. This is insane. I don't understand people who are studying, intelligent people, complaining about things like that. Let me know in the comments below if I really missed a thing here, but this really me off. Congrats, I really loved Notability and convinced multiple friends to purchase it. Now I feel bad about having them ripped in with me. Maybe you should have focused more on developing features that users can use without paying for them, instead of just making more money. I think you have no idea how much a developer costs, how much it costs to develop a tool. I developed my own SaaS together with a partner, the digital journal designer. Maybe some of you know this. And I was looking for different ways how I can actually create this tool for you guys, because I wanted to save my time to create manually these journals for you, but at the same time, I wanted to level it up to give you the freedom to create a digital journal in the way you want to like it. That was just a dream I had in my mind. So I was going to development companies where I asked them if they can create something for me. The first MVP, minimal valuable product, was around $100,000 to create the version. So the only way I was able to provide you this tool now is the developer who made this together with me. He is a good old friend with me, and he said, I will invest my time in order for a share afterwards. Okay, so he's getting a share from the income that I get from this SaaS that I launched there. Otherwise, investing $100,000 for the basic product without any updates. Now make the calculation. I would need more than 11,000 people to buy my product before I'm even. This doesn't include running costs, monthly costs, maybe support costs, and then adding more features, because as soon people use this tool, they come up with ideas that you should implement there. We are talking just by creating it, launching it, $100,000. I would need 12,000 people buying it for $8.99 in order to get even. We really have to see things in relation. And we see down here, and this is the most annoying thing here that I see here, boot them from the App Store. I guess this guy means they should just, delete them from the App Store. If they do this, guess what? All the content in your Notability app will be gone. You will have no access anymore whatsoever. If Apple shuts Notability down today, just because they switched from a one-off payment to a subscription model, all your stuff is gone. Instead, Notability gives you 1 year where you can keep your stuff. You can say, okay, I'm annoyed. You're free to go. You can download your PDFs. You can go to a different note-taking app, look for GoodNotes or NoteShelf. There's still one payment off, and then you're good to go. You have 1 year to do this, do the switch. So what are you complaining about? I don't just get it. This is what is going on with humanity here. We buy paper notebooks and bullet journals and so on that costs more than this application for a whole year. And then the most surprising thing, Paperless X. Okay, she also thought she needs to get into the rant here, and she writes, could this be the end of Notability's reign? Okay, and then she goes on and on about the violation and ridiculous limitations for new users. It's a free application that you can use. You can test this out in order to pay something for this. Why do you complain about a free access? People who are already using it and paid for it still can use it for 1 year. So they're in the scope of the 1 year subscription level, isn't it? But you even paid less than the actual subscription. I just want to repeat this one. And then she says, we thought PDF Expert was bad. What is bad about PDF Expert? It's the best application that you can get for PDF editing. And yes, they have a subscription model. And yes, they cost a lot more than Notability per year. However, they provide the value there. There is no alternative out there. And again, I prefer to pay these on a consistent basis, as long I also see that they give me support, they update the tool, and it stays stable, and I can trust my data in there. As long as they comply to this, they can charge me money. If anything of this fails, then I switch the tool. But I don't just switch tools because it was free and then I switch to want some money for it. It's insane. I mean, I would totally understand this. If you paid $1,000 for Notability because you thought, okay, this is the tool I need to use, and now they suddenly switch to a subscription model that costs you thousands of dollars per month, so you pay a lot more than you paid before, I would understand this argumentation and this discussion going in here. But we are talking about $12 per year, $1 per month. So what are we actually talking about here? Now you know my point of view. I'm open for the discussion, and I know that many will agree with me, many will disagree with me. That's just how life is. But what I would wish for, that people put things into perspective instead of just hopping onto the rage train against something they have no idea what actually the background is, why things happen, how they happen in the world. Thank you very much.